the first question I was going to ask you is like, how long have you been trading, by the way? Oh, by the way, this is going to be a short interview for obviously the performance on your account, just like a checkup, maybe after the first 30 days. So I guess we're going to just do a quick overview of everything. So how long have you been trading, obviously, before starting with Arcane Algo?
Sure. I've been trading for years. It's just that the last, I want to say, year and a half, I've been really focused on trading for cash flow. Before, when I was trading, it was more for long-term goals, maybe trading retirement account, but I wasn't trading to see if I could live off revenue from it each month. So when I started doing that, I started looking at different prop firms, a whole bunch of different trading strategies. Started with options, and then it became zero DTE options, and then from there went into algos, and then algos started with forex, and then the options. They kind of made a path to futures, and I like futures the best. I don't have to think about theta decay or anything like that. So basically on the prop firm side, which is relatively new to me, I had not received a payout yet. Every time I tried it, trading with a prop firm, they've got different rules to learn and things like that. So I tried to adjust how I trade. So currently, I trade manually, and I've been using algos and things like that to see if I can make money. And it's been an interesting journey so far.
Right. And so you started about also 4 weeks ago, right? Was that the first algo, Arcane, that you utilized, or did you use on any other previous
No,
algo?
I had tried some other algos, and you know, everybody has a different way of setting them up and configuring them. Like I've tried
Mhm.
algos through NinjaTrader. I've tried algos where they have a back end, and you fill out your information in there, and then you never see anything. You don't see
Right.
anything. It's like a little black box. I don't like those that much because you don't really know what's going on with it. And I like to be able to see things happening. I like to see the confluence, how they trade. Um, but no, Arcane definitely was not my first. But I must say, on the futures side, I have not, in my experience so far, I have not found a futures algorithm that has worked as advertised until I came to Arcane.
Okay. Thank you, man. I'm glad to hear that. And how was the setup? Like, how easy or complex was setting up the algo? And do you remember how long it took you for us to set you up?
Sure. Um, let's see here. The best way to describe it is if you were on your chart, one is you're trading directly on your chart. The other one is you're having an algo where you're putting an indicator on TradingView, and then a signal comes from TradingView, and then you're using a bridge to get it to trade at your broker or your brokerage exchange. Um, I don't think it's very difficult. I had done it one time before with a different
Mhm.
algo, so I was familiar with the process. Um, but I must say, as soon as you get your indicator loaded on TradingView, the rest is pretty straightforward. I think for me, the most challenging part was just making sure that I understood the workflow,
Yeah.
uh, like how it comes from the chart to ultimately your prop firm account. I really wanted to understand that workflow. Um, I just feel like if you're doing stuff and you don't know the workflow, you're kind of just at the mercy of whatever happens. But I wanted to be in a situation where if something did happen, I would know how to close something or open something or turn something off. But I think from the other stuff that I've seen, this is pretty straightforward. So I'm looking forward to scaling, and I'm sure that process changes a little bit in terms of how the rules for each prop firm.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. And so far, it's been very smooth.
And how much chart time would you say you have with the algo right now compared to before? So I'm sure you had a specific amount of chart time that you had looking at a chart day to day,
Hmm. Hmm.
week to week. Can you give it like an average chart time? What's your actual chart time now using the
Sure.
Arcane algo?
I would say on Arcane, I'm looking at the chart maybe an hour, and that's only because I trade mainly on the New York Open, so that's my focus.
Yeah.
Um, so far as I try to learn the algos that we're using for Arcane, I'm trying to figure out which ones trade when.
Yeah.
And so far, it seems like that hour from, I want to say, 8 a.m. to 11 Eastern. Maybe a lot of trades within that time frame there, but I know that some of the strategies take trades outside of those times. I just haven't followed it that closely to find out when each algo takes a trade at a certain time. I definitely don't. It's funny. I don't think about it as much as I used to. Like when I first started with Arcane, I would look at the trade. I'd rush to look at the chart. I would look at that and be like, okay, I would try to find the reasoning for the trade. Most of the time, I find some type of confluence. Some trades are like, wow, that was an aggressive trade, but it worked out. Um, it's my chart time for Arcane is different. Like my time looking at Arcane is just making sure I understand the flow.
Hmm.
Uh, and I must say, I feel like it kind of helps my manual trading as well because I it forces me to look at the day. And I don't know if everyone on who's got your program does it the same way.
Yeah, yeah, you're probably like the only one of the very few people. I mean, I have someone else that do that too, but most people chart time is like 15, 30 minutes because they mainly like sometimes get interested to see how it's printing just to
Yeah,
get an idea as well. But so most people are just like letting it run and
yeah.
then barely have
Well,
any chart time.
catch me in another 30 days. Maybe I'll just be like, I'll just look at my computer and say, is everything is on? Is everything connected? And then I walk away. Uh, but so far it's been compared to the other stuff I've been involved with, there's no there's no like hiccups.
Yeah,
There's so many things out there where people say, "Oh, it's so easy. You just have to do this," and then you get everything and running, and then something goes wrong, and
yeah,
then you're constantly testing, and it's like you never really get the chance to get to the next step, which ultimately is getting a payout.
yeah.
So the biggest thing I say for Arcane is all those other programs never gotten a payout, and I've tried quite a few programs, and this has been. I think what was it? It was maybe a week to pass the evaluation, and then
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. How many try did it take you to pass the evaluation with the Arcane Algo?
one try. Let me
Okay.
say, maybe phrase that differently. Not one. It's not like one day, but it wasn't like a thing that was like day after day after day, and all of a sudden you're close to coming to pass, and all of a sudden, oh, it's a losing trade, and you're back to get it. Oh, I failed the account. I got to try again, and let me try this time. It wasn't like that. It was just I turned it on, I set everything up, I watched it trade, and it passed. I can't remember how many days, but it was
Like
quick.
it was like 3 to 4 days, right? Like
Yeah.
because we had the max profit day at 1100, right? For so it
Yes.
most likely taken at least I would say 3 days, 3 to 4 days, right?
Yeah. And it was pretty quick. And then
Cool.
after it passed, I was wondering what the next step is, and then it passed that. And at the same time, I was trying to learn the rules for the prop firm. But I'll tell you one thing, nothing gets you to learn all those rules as when you pass an account and you're about to get paid. You learn
Right.
every now and then. I want something that's regular.
Yeah, and I mean, you used to also starting to embody some of those principles. We always kind of talked about, which is focusing on scaling, and as you scale your risk management, you should focus on preservation, capital preservation. So even when you talk, I hear you emphasize on that heavily. And I guess what would you say? How would you describe the shift in mindset from like the way that we manage portfolio here versus in other maybe in other environment that you've been part of? Because
Sure.
in other places I'm seeing people focus heavily on trying to teach you the strategy, but never really get to the point where they talk about scaling and managing portfolio. That's a
Yeah.
whole different side of obviously understanding how to properly trade and grow and scale. What would you say in regards to that?
I think the all the stuff that I've heard over the years, and I'm sure other people have heard from other programs. Uh, and I don't know what school everyone's used to, whether it be ICT, DRT, um, all the different acronyms. Uh, some of that stuff is super helpful, but at the end of the day, we're only doing this so that we can make money,
Yeah.
and it's not a hobby. And I know there's some groups that they're like, oh, we have a great community and all these different things, but at the end of the day, the community is not going to pay your mortgage, and the community is
Hmm.
not going to pay your bills. I feel like uh, once you see something that works, and I got a payout, like I requested the payout, and I got paid in less than like 10 minutes, which was I didn't even know that could happen on the prop firm stuff. But I think it changes our mindset because then you start thinking, okay, I did the workflow from the beginning to the end. I saw
Hmm.
the work that I put in and I saw the return from that work. And a lot of the stuff that's out there, it's not as clean. It could take a long time. It could take months of blowing accounts, getting other stuff, hearing the people saying, "Oh, we've got to tweak this. We've got to come out with new releases of this." And don't get me wrong, trying to improve a system, there's nothing wrong with that. Even Jacobs has updates to his algos, but you see the process improving. And when you see a check come in or you see a deposit come in, then your mindset changes to, okay, how can I rinse and repeat this? What can I do to scale this wisely to hold on to this, to keep it going and grow it? Um, I don't see a lot of other programs where you're actually getting to the point where you can think about how can I keep this and grow it. A lot of
Yeah.
the other programs are more about, man, I just want to get there. It's like you're on a road trip with your parents and you're always asking them, hey, are we there yet? And that's all you ever ask. But I'll tell you what does come in is their invoice. That
Yeah.
that they're very clear about. So
Right. Okay.
cool.
Perfect.
So this was the first payout.
Oh, nice. All right. That's amazing, man. And then you have a
Yeah,
few more to go, and then you're currently up on your lava account. So, uh, congratulations, man. That's been amazing. Just seeing you being able to just kind of follow the direction. But I mean, it's quite amazing. Just and this is your very first payout as well, right?
very first payout, and definitely tried for quite a few, trying to learn prop firms and the different things and the rules they have, and this is the fruits of the labor. And yeah, Arcane definitely the key, the key for me to get this money coming in. So it was definitely exciting, and my wife was excited. Started talking about stuff to try to figure out how to move in the best way forward. So it's a good sign.
Amazing, man. Well, you're on track. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing, and then we'll make sure that we keep scaling to where we know, we need to get to.
Yeah,
So the very beginning. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I'm really happy and then grateful that you took the time. I know you're very busy to obviously do this to be able to share your experience and talk about your obviously the performance of what has transpired so far for the last 3-4 weeks with the algos, and that gave other people the ability to kind of just visualize and see the result beyond my own, and seeing that it's actually duplicatable not only for me but for actually other people portfolio as well.
yeah,
So I'm really, really grateful and thankful that you took the time to allow me to allow us to do this.
no problem at all. Anytime.
Yep. So with that said, is there anything that maybe you want to mention to anybody that's looking to explore, trading with algo, or maybe they're still thinking about maybe where, maybe whether or not to get started with Arcane? Maybe
Sure.
something quick to like maybe that you feel they might need to hear. The thing might be helpful in their endeavor to determining if this is the right thing for them.
Sure, no problem. I could definitely say I've seen a lot of stuff out there, yeah, especially on the algo side. Um, and I think my experience with Arcane is definitely something you should do. When I compare the other stuff that's out there, the level of attention that you get from Arcane and the process, it is it's a much better value from the stuff that I've seen out there. I can't think of one reason why I would tell someone not to join Arcane. I just think, I mean, you see the results have happened to me, and he's not he's not paying me to do this, and it's a pretty straightforward process, and it's something that I think people should learn. And again, I come back to the value, because as you're out there, you're gonna see some outrageous pricing, just outrageous pricing. Um, And I think Arcane is definitely way, way more reasonable. And you're actually talking to him. You're not talking to someone who went out there and hired a sales agency to take care of all their sales. You're actually talking to the founder. Um, I just think I think he has a lot of stuff going for his program, and the fact that he's actually allowing people to understand how to build and make money and at the same time has customer service kind of wrapped into it. Maybe I'm old school, but that's